Have you ever noticed how quickly your confidence can change when you're trading? One day you feel calm, capable, and completely in control. You trust your reads. You execute your trades without hesitation. Then, one loss, even sometimes just one small loss, and suddenly everything feels shaky. You start to second-guess yourself. You hesitate. You wonder if you actually know what you're doing at all. This video is about that emotional swing, because unstable confidence is one of the most exhausting parts of trading and one of the biggest obstacles to achieving consistency. And here's the uncomfortable truth that most traders don't want to hear. If your confidence rises and falls that quickly, it's not because you lack experience. It's because your confidence is built on the wrong foundation. Let's slow this down for a second. Most traders think that confidence comes from winning. They might not say it out loud, but emotionally, that's what they believe. When they win, their confidence goes up. When they lose, their confidence crashes. Now, on the surface, that seems logical, but it creates a really fragile system because trading outcomes are volatile, random in the short term, and completely outside of your control. So if your confidence is tied directly to those outcomes, your confidence will always be unstable. You're essentially letting the market regulate how you feel about yourself. And the market is definitely not designed to do that kindly. Here's where it really starts to hurt. When confidence swings too fast, traders stop trusting their own judgment. They hesitate on good setups. They start to override their own rules. They look for confirmation everywhere except inside their own well-defined process. And slowly, they begin outsourcing their decision-making to their emotions. That's the exact moment when trading becomes chaotic. Let's talk about why this happens psychologically. Your brain is wired to learn from feedback. In most areas of life, that feedback is pretty direct. You do something well, you get rewarded. You do something poorly, you get corrected. But trading just doesn't work like that. In trading, you can make a perfect decision and still lose money. And you can make a terrible decision and still win. So when you use outcomes as feedback for your confidence, you're training your brain incorrectly. You reward bad behavior when it gets lucky, and you punish good behavior when it doesn't pay off immediately. Over time, that creates a ton of confusion. Your brain no longer knows what it can trust. So confidence becomes reactive instead of stable. There's another layer to this, and it's about identity. Many traders subconsciously tie their confidence to being right. When a trade works out, it feels like proof of their intelligence, their skill, or their growth. But when a trade fails, it feels like evidence of incompetence. But trading is not a test of intelligence. It's a test of probabilistic discipline. And if you confuse those two things, your confidence will always feel incredibly fragile. Here's a key distinction that changes everything. Confidence is not the absence of doubt. Confidence is the ability to act despite doubt. Professional traders don't feel confident because they know the outcome of a trade. They feel confident because they trust their process. That trust is built through repetition, not through results. But most traders skip that step. They want confidence right now, so they grab it from whatever source is available. And usually, that's their profit and loss statements. And that's exactly why it collapses so quickly. Let's look at how these confidence swings show up behaviorally. After a winning day, traders often feel invincible. They increase their position size. They loosen their rules. They trade more setups than they normally would. That's not confidence. That's emotional elevation. It feels great, but it's unstable. Then, after a losing day, traders often feel fragile. They hesitate. They impulsively reduce their size. They start avoiding good setups altogether. That's not caution. That's a confidence collapse. Both of these states come from the exact same problem. Confidence that is tied to outcomes. True confidence actually looks kind of boring. It looks calm. It looks consistent. It looks emotionally flat. And that's why so many traders don't even recognize it when they have it. They mistake emotional intensity for confidence. But intensity is not stability. So how do you fix this? You rebuild your confidence on behavior, not on results. The very first step is to redefine what confidence actually means in trading. Confidence does not mean, I think this trade will work. Confidence means, I know exactly what I'll do if it doesn't. That's a huge shift. When you trust your risk management, your exits, your boundaries, and your decision rules, your confidence becomes completely independent of the outcome. You don't need the trade to work to feel okay. You already know how you'll respond. That's safety. And safety is the foundation of genuine confidence. The second step is separating decision confidence from emotional confidence. Decision confidence is your ability to make a choice based on your rules. Emotional confidence is how you feel about yourself. Most traders mix these two things together. They assume that if they feel uncertain emotionally, they shouldn't act. But emotional uncertainty is normal in trading. It's decision confidence that really matters. So instead of asking yourself, do I feel confident? Ask, is this trade valid according to my plan? That one question cuts right through all the emotional noise. Another powerful fix is to track your process streaks, not your win streaks. Instead of counting consecutive wins or losses, track your consecutive days of rule adherence. For example, ask yourself, how many sessions in a row did I follow my rules perfectly? That number builds confidence far more reliably than your profit and loss statement ever will, because it's something that is completely under your control, and it compounds. A trader with 5 disciplined days in a row will feel much more stable than a trader with one lucky win, even if their account balance says otherwise. Let's talk about confidence after losses, because that's where most traders really struggle. After a loss, the brain immediately looks for an explanation. It wants to know why. And if you don't give it a clean, logical explanation, it will invent one. And usually, it's something harsh. I'm not good enough. I can't execute. I always mess this up. Those are not analyses. They're emotional shortcuts. So after a loss, you need a structured review, not an emotional processing session. Ask yourself 3 questions only. First, did the trade meet my criteria? Second, did I manage my risk correctly? And third, did I follow my exit rules? If the answer is yes to all 3, your confidence should remain completely intact. The loss does not reduce your confidence. In fact, it confirms your discipline. If the answer is no, then your confidence should dip slightly, but productively. Because now you know exactly what you need to work on. Either way, your confidence is informed by your behavior, not by the outcome. That's the key. Another important piece is your time perspective. Confidence swings feel so intense because traders zoom in way too closely. They judge themselves based on one trade, one day, or one week. But confidence is a long horizon trait. It's built over dozens and dozens of sessions. When you widen the lens, single outcomes lose their power over you. So a simple practice that helps is to review your last 20 sessions, not just your last trade. Ask yourself, am I trading better than I was 20 sessions ago? That question produces a much more accurate and helpful answer. Now let's address the deeper fear that sits underneath these confidence swings. For many traders, confidence swings are actually about self-worth. When trading goes well, they feel worthy. When it doesn't, they feel exposed and fraudulent. That's a heavy burden to carry, and it makes every single trade emotionally loaded. So part of stabilizing your confidence is separating who you are from what you do. You are not your last trade. You are not your profits and losses. You are not your win rate. You are someone who is learning a probabilistic skill over time. When you truly internalize that, your confidence becomes much steadier, because it's no longer threatened by short-term randomness. Here's a simple daily ritual that can help anchor your confidence. At the end of each session, write down one sentence. Today, I traded well because, and then fill in the blank. Not, I made money. Not, I won. Something behavioral. I followed my plan. I respected my stop. I walked away on time. This trains your brain to associate confidence with controllable actions. Over time, your confidence stops swinging. It settles. And when your confidence settles, your execution improves. Not because you feel fearless, but because you feel grounded. Before we wrap up, I want you to reflect on this. When your confidence drops, what usually triggered it? Was it a loss? A missed trade? A flat day? Or maybe even a win that didn't feel right? There's a pattern there. Understanding that pattern is how you take back control. Stable confidence is not a personality trait. It's a skill. And like every other skill in trading, it can be trained. And this right here is a trader's hidden edge. If this video helped you, hit that like button, subscribe for more trading psychology content, and let me know in the comments what affects your confidence the most. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.